We have a very small group today, but I'm very pleased to invite back Dr. Rachel Pearson as our presenter. Dr. Pearson is a clinical marriage and family therapist, as well as a certified sex therapist in the Wichita community. She received her master's degree from Friends University in marriage and family therapy, and her doctorate from Wichita State University in community psychology and research. She has additional specialized training in difficulties with sexual desire and functioning, compulsive sexual behavior and unhealthy sexual boundaries, and marital and relationship issues. She conducts educational sessions and events in the Wichita area for sexual enhancement for couples as well as for individuals. Welcome back, Dr. Pearson. I really appreciate you doing this second session on sex and intimacy after cancer. Such an important topic that most of our oncologists are not willing or able to discuss. So thank you, and I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
So then communicating our sexual needs and frustrations. So sexuality, a topic that many people are hesitant to talk about because sex can be seen as a private, personal matter. Yet the discussion of sex can be uncomfortable, but satisfying sex doesn't just occur naturally. A lot of people, again, from movies can have unrealistic expectations that, two people smile at each other and they start kissing and then intercourse happens and they orgasm simultaneously and the music starts, right? Not how it usually happens. Individuals may be unable to share a sexual concern with their partner, even to the detriment of their sexual relationship. And it's important to talk openly about sexual activity, especially about pleasure, because many couples experience sexual difficulties, may want to explore alternative ways of achieving sexual satisfaction. So especially going through medical concerns and cancer diagnosis and treatment, it can be a lot about survival and a lot about clinical medical stuff. And sometimes the idea of pleasure can be forgotten, and the idea of touch for pleasure and sex for pleasure can be forgotten. And so I think it's important to really highlight ways that individuals can experience pleasure by themselves or in a relationship. Emotional connection is especially important for women's sexual satisfaction, as women need to feel connected to their partner, both in and out of bed. So there's lots of research that for the majority of women, it can be difficult for women to not talk to a partner all day, not really feel connected, and then get home, get naked, and do something as intimate as sex. And so if there's ways that they can be connected throughout the day, that may make intimacy feel more comfortable and more likely. We can also put some effort into non-sexual aspects of the relationship. So again, if that's sharing jokes throughout the day, if that's talking about the day, if that's gardening together, having some way to connect. And daily things make the difference. And a shared sense of emotional investment is also important. So in looking at emotional connection, you might consider if you're in a relationship or being intimate with someone, do you feel like you connect emotionally with that person during sex? And if so, how do you do that? What do you do when you lose contact with each other? So it's very common for individuals, especially females, to get distracted during intimacy. Could be really into it and then all of a sudden be thinking about, what do I need to get from the grocery store? When was that bill due? I just lost it. And so to be able to reconnect with a partner if you've lost connection. So for some people that might be changing positions or having more direct eye contact or stimulation in a different kind of way to be able to connect if you found that you've gotten distracted. So you might think of, how have you been able to reestablish connection with your partner during the encounter? Do you cover over when you turn out, pretending like you're really present? Because for some people, they could be gone for 5 minutes planning on how they're going to remodel the backyard. And their partner may not realize that they weren't fully there. Or there are some people who might say, hey, I was just distracted for a second. I might need to change something up to reconnect. And think back to the last time you broke contact with your partner during sex. Your answers may reveal what your relationship is like. So for some couples, it may just be easier to keep that information to yourself and to kind of regroup and refocus. And for others, it may be more helpful to let a partner know, hey, sorry, I was gone for a little while. And here's what I need to be present with you again. So again, women are great at multitasking, but multitasking during sex can prevent us from being fully present and enjoying the moment as we become easily distracted. So much like some of us can be guilty of driving a car while eating breakfast and fiddling with the radio and putting on mascara. There's some people who are doing a lot of things while they're driving. There's some people who are doing a lot of things while they're trying to have sex because it's just really difficult to stay present and in the moment. And involvement can vary from barely there to being really there. And it's important to increase contact with your partner during sex. And so oftentimes I'll work with individuals on mindfulness techniques and ways to be fully present when they're being intimate. So stop your mind from wandering and increase in the moment involvement during sex. When your partner is touching you, focus your attention on the point of physical contact. As your partner's touch shifts, move your attention with it. Sometimes watching your partner touch you can help you stay focused. Don't just focus on the mechanics of the partner's touch. Try to feel your partner's intent. So anything that can incorporate the five senses. So for some people, if they're listening to music or their partner's talking to them, or they're watching their partner's body or sense of smell, any of those things to help keep us present. When you're touching your partner, focus your attention on the person inside of your partner's body. Whether you and your partner just hold hands or touch everything you can reach out to your partner in ways that convey you are trying to touch minds and hearts. And try to help your partner feel good, but don't presume that you know what will do that. And so I also utilize exercises with couples on how to give feedback about what kind of touch is feeling good and what kind of touch may be annoying or that's just all right, or any touch that may be painful, especially if you're going through cancer treatment. As bodies are changing, sensitivity areas can change. There may be some areas that used to feel good and now really hurt. There may be some areas that you didn't realize could feel so great. And so being able to give that feedback to a partner can help you have a more satisfying experience. Any questions about that?
Rachel, this is Judy. I think your tips on communication with your partner are incredibly important. And I wonder if this is one of those things that the communication is most effective at the moment, or should it be a follow-up conversation? What's the most effective way to have that and timing of that conversation?
Really depends on the person. If the person is able to provide that information as it's happening, that tends to be more effective, because then it's not a sense of like, remember when you were doing that one thing, and the partner's like, I was doing a lot of things. I don't remember what that one thing was. And so if as it's happening, you're able to say, ooh, a little to the left, or actually that area is really sensitive now, or, hey, did you know that my elbows are all of a sudden really aroused? Being able to provide that feedback in the moment tends to be most effective. But for some people, that's a really difficult thing to do, because for some people, they don't know what they're feeling in the moment and they need time to really process it, really find the right words for it. Also depends on what kind of communication is happening with the couple. Some couples aren't in a place where they could provide that kind of feedback in the moment without it resulting in conflict or ruining the moment. So for some people, it's better to kind of hold on to that and then talk about it later, maybe after they've shared the experience, maybe after everybody's clothed, or it's a safer spot to provide that feedback. So it really depends on the couple.
Thank you.